Good morning. Not sure what day we're on. This morning we're at Todd Harbor, and we are headed to Little Todd today. So we have another like 6.6 or something miles to Little Todd, and Matt's still sleeping, but it's time to get up. The loons are calling. But I'm gonna start to get things packed up in here, let him sleep a little bit, and then I'll get breakfast going, and I'm sure by then he'll be up and we can scoot out of here. Tell me how bad those knee braces smell.
I am disgusting right now. Between this shirt and these knee braces, I don't think people are going to camp near us. I think we're going to get Little Todd and North Lake all to ourselves. And we might get a shelter just approaching. They're going to leave at Wendigo.
We are not the worst smelling people on the island.
Well, not like naturally, but I think we're doing our best to like make up through effort what they have just by ability.
How many days have we been on the island? I was trying to figure that out this morning.
This is the morning of 6.
So 6 days with no real showers. We do have wet wipes that we use every single night. And we try to keep our clothes as clean as possible and the dry stuff dry and the hiking stuff, you know, separate. But at some point on this island, everything just becomes a little bit damp. Either from your condensation, your sweat, or the island itself. It's very humid. So yeah, damp clothing in packs all day long kind of gets a little bit of a funk, and sweating all day in hiking clothing gets a little bit of a funk. But we're doing good. We're feeling good. No blisters, no injuries, nothing like that. Knock on wood, Ashley. Don't say that early. But everything looks good so far, so we're just getting packed up here, and then we're gonna have breakfast, and we're gonna scoot out of Todd Harbor. The loons want to say hello. Alrighty, we are all packed up. Packs are on. Campsite is empty. So we're gonna head down the trail and head towards Little Todd today. 6.6?
6.7, but the last point 4 or 5 is walking into camp, so
right.
No biggie.
Yep, so we'll see you guys in a little bit. I think the trail is gonna be mostly this today. Mostly overgrown, but not a lot of hills today. Okay, we've made it to the junction for Hatchet Lake versus Little Todd. Little Todd is 4.7 miles away from this point. The trail is right there. You can see it's pretty overgrown, so it's a little bit wet. My pants are already pretty wet, but that's alright. They were pretty well wet anyway. And we'll probably get there by lunchtime, so we'll just eat lunch there and we'll check back in with you in a little bit. I'm not filming a ton because the trail looks exactly like that.
Green
so
tunnel.
It's pretty much that the whole way. If we see anything interesting, we'll let you know. There's a cow moose right there on the trail. She's staring us down pretty good. We're gonna keep a lot of distance. I don't see any babies, and her ears are upright, so she's comfortable right now. Okay, so he just turned his head, and actually I can see a small set of horns. It's actually a small young bull. We're still gonna give him some space. Let him move on his own. Okay, I just crossed this little stream crossing here. We think we're really close to Little Todd, so Matt's gonna give it a go now. See how he does.
I knew I was going to do that from watching you though.
Alright, we made it. Made it to the sign. Little Todd is that way, and it's 0.6 from this sign. That was our chosen camp spot for tonight. However, it's early. I'm not sure what time it is. Let me look.
Probably not even noon.
It is 11:32, so it's not even noon yet, and we've already made it to our campsite. We got a little bit of word that it might thunder and rain the next 2 days, so we are considering at the moment skipping Little Todd and going that way to North Lake DeSoar. So let me show you that on the map. So we stayed in Todd Harbor last night. We hiked all of this to here. We're sitting right where that little red marker is. This would be Little Todd, a campground that we planned on staying at tonight. Or we can keep hiking and do this ridge here to North Lake DeSoar and stay here for the night. This was our planned campground for tomorrow night. So what that means is if we do this, we'll be strolling into Wendigo a day early. And we already have a 0 day planned. So we have a couple decisions to make right here at the sign. We're gonna eat some lunch, we're gonna talk it over, and we'll let you know what we decide. Also, check this out. There's a old moose shed right here by the sign. How cool is that? Alright, we're having a little lunch. We had a couple meat sticks. I've got my Cheez-It crackers yet. We've got some tomato basil cheese. Matt's eating his right now. We're gonna drink some Mio. And I think we're gonna push on to North Lake DeSoar. I think that's what we've decided.
So this is it. We are on top of the Minong. You guys can see over there, that is the greenstone. But you can see, it doesn't really look like a trail. You just have to have a good sense of direction. Keep going. The trail does pop in and pop out. We're only on this section for 4.6 and we've already been on it a little ways. Be at North Lake DeSoar in no time.
We've been working our way through that ridge there. We came from over there and wound up here, and we're gonna keep going that way. The sun is up high and bright today. It's cooking us a little bit, but we're doing it. It's like a little puzzle game with your foot placement. You gotta kind of pick it very carefully, and yeah, it's a combination of fun and challenging at the same time. Look at this view. Woo! We've been on the Minong now for quite a while. She's a tough old girl. She's kicking our butts a little bit. Definitely the most challenging trail on the island. We are just about to North Lake DeSoar. I think we're like half a mile or less from the junction that leads you into the campground. But you gotta see this view. Look at that. How awesome.
Well, we're here in Beaverville and you can see they have no trouble taking down trees. But yeah, crazy little animals.
Alright, we've hit the campground on Lake DeSoar, and we're gonna walk up and check out the campsites. Matt's gonna go check the privy to see if it has toilet paper. We've got one roll left, but we're a day ahead, so we're okay.
Not even a roller, and it smells like the devil vomited.
No toilet paper. Oh, it's alright. We still got a whole roll left. We're good. Alright, that looks like a campsite there. This looks like one here. Let's take a look, Matt. Alright. This looks like a nice little campground. A spot big enough for the tent right there. A little sitting area. Water right there. What do you have to say about that ridge?
Some of the most beautiful views I've seen outside of our trip to the Alps.
Yep.
You work for it, bring more water than you think, because when they say that those rocks will get a full 20 degrees hotter, they're right.
They're not lying.
And if you're a fast hiker, like, you're gonna go slower than you think because you're spending so much time balancing and checking footing and making sure you're navigating. We don't make cairns, we don't knock cairns down, but there are a lot of navigational cairns there, and they were helpful.
Yeah. The first half of our hike today from Todd Harbor to Little Todd was on a challenging scale, like 1 to 5, it was probably like a 2. It was no big deal. I mean, we just cruised through the woods most of the day. And then once we hit Little Todd, we got greeted with the Minong Ridge almost right away. And it was rocks, woods, rocks, woods, rocks, woods the whole way. Which is a little wearing on the feet. But we're here, it's totally doable. I'd say the challenge level on that was probably a 4. You know, tomorrow is going to be a lot of the same thing. We have basically 10 miles of ridge and like 1 mile to 2 miles of junctions and such in and out of campgrounds. So we are 1 day ahead of schedule. We're heading into Wendigo tomorrow, which is way earlier than we anticipated, but we did some extra miles yesterday, day before yesterday, and today. So just worked out that way. Pretty killer view right here at North Lake DeSoar. It's a beautiful lake. There's a tiny little island over there. Took a little swim just a minute ago. That was fantastic. Felt good to get my hair wet. It's a little messy now, but that was very refreshing, so I'm glad I did that. It's a beautiful place here. Matt's gonna go for a little bit of a swim now. Mr. Loon is out there, or Mrs. Loon, I'm not sure, swimming out in front of us, giving us a little show. Alright, we kind of have a little bit of pack explosion here going on, but we know we got some rain coming in tonight, so we kind of set up the tarp in such a way that we can get in and out of the tent and hang out without getting wet.
So, there's a couple advantages to being really early. One of those is that we have a lot of extra food, and for tomorrow, with being over 12 miles, being on the ridges, we don't know, we might get a little rain. Double lunch. 2 meats, 2 cheeses, 2 crackers, extra desserts, all that good stuff. So that's what I've been working on. I've been setting all of this up. Actually consolidated a lot for our extra food. You can see we're down to just leftover meat, cheese, crackers. Breakfast bag is almost done. That bag is really just trash. Couple dinners. I think we're sitting pretty tomorrow, and while I've been doing the food and working on dinner and lunch plans, Ashley said she was going to be setting up the tent, and this is what we see. I think she's taking a nap. She may be awake, but kind of awake, yep. We're just hanging out at camp. Feels good to be in camp. I think we're gonna be plenty rested. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually ready to be back on the Minong Ridge. And that scares me.
That's a lie. There's no way that's true.
Well, we had a catastrophe. Our beautiful ramen rescue has lost some of its zip. I don't know if you can see in the corner. Looks a little wet. We turn over. It's losing some of its sriracha, and I like the ramen rescue, but I'll tell you, they put the sriracha in there for a reason, because it is delicious, and it's a shame to lose even a little bit of it, and this poor guy had a little bit worse of a go of it. Still good, still definitely edible. A little bit of sriracha grease is not gonna ruin it or make it instantly rehydrate, but it's a shame for us, because man, we love that extra kick of sriracha.
Alright, time for dinner. Matt has already started mine. Having the Tuscan, Packet Gourmet's Tuscan beef stew. Oop. And Parmesan polenta. And then Matt is making his kickin' chicken tortilla wrap. This is what happens sometimes with these sport tops. See how it's falling off? Just about broken. Fortunately, I've had this happen before, and so I brought an extra, just regular cap that'll screw on this type of bottle, and I put it in our filter bag. So This is probably not gonna make it through tomorrow. I prefer the sport top. It's nicer to drink out of, but lately I've been having trouble with them. That's the second one I've broke while hiking. Okay guys, it's getting kind of windy outside, and so we've retreated to the tent for now. I'm just looking at the map for tomorrow and making sure we know where we're going. The plan is just to jump back on the Minong and then hike that all the way to Washington Creek or Wendigo, and that's where we're gonna stay tomorrow. It's a pretty long day for us. It's like over 12 miles. Looking at the map, it basically looks like a lot of ups and downs again on the ridge. So we'll show you how that looks tomorrow. We were also warned about a couple beaver dams, 3 of them in particular, that are quite a bear to pass. We'll try to give you a good look at those tomorrow so you get an idea of what to expect if you're coming out here this year. I know those beaver dams have been a problem for a while now. I've seen them mentioned on the forums several times, but I haven't seen them personally, so tomorrow we'll get to see them. Matt, are you excited for tomorrow?
If I fall in one of those nasty beaver water areas, you guys might find some choice vocabulary in one or more languages.
Nope. This is a PG channel. Try to keep it clean. Alright. We'll check back in with you if anything else happens tonight. That was... Oops, I wasn't recording any of that. I just hit record.